I'm going to talk about revolutionizing the brand experience. If you think about it, all of us in here are all doing the same thing, the exact same thing. We're creating brand experiences for our clients and a bit for ourselves as well. The odd thing is looking at the industry as it stands today, the experience has generally been kind of the same, right? We go to a place, we order some food, they give it to us in some way, shape, or form. We consume food in that space. And what's kind of sad is a lot of restaurants still rest their laurels on good food, good service, and that's it. And like Joe said, it's so much more than that these days, and consumers are demanding so much more from restaurant brands and what they bring to the world. They want fantastic experiences, something they can brag about to their friends on social media, on Snapchat. And I beg the question, how do we create fantastic experiences for restaurants? All right. Moments of truth. So I'm sure you guys have heard this kind of buzz phrase, but it really does make a lot of sense, and I think truth is the operative word that I really want to home in on. Through advertising and marketing and all the things we put into the world, we are making promises. And I think for the longest time, brands have made those promises with a sort of a laissez-faire kind of, whatever happens, happens. But now people are savvy. They know that if you tell me something's gonna be green, it better be green from beginning to end, or else I think you're a liar. And so there's a lot of skepticism involved. The most brilliant brands align their promise with a purpose, with their product, everything. And that includes even down to the little piece of equipment. What does that do to fulfill my promise? And that's what consumers are looking for today, no matter what age, because I think everyone's kind of getting up to the same level here. People want to create a connection with a brand on a visceral level, something emotional. That's what they adopt. That's what they become loyal to. That's what makes them happy and a fan, or a raving fan, to use an old marketing term. But there are new behaviors and cultural shifts, some have been alluded to just recently, that I think could arguably threaten or give us really good opportunities to revolutionize the brand experience. So, fair warning, I'm gonna start very cool with some of these things. I'm gonna get really weird with them. So feel free to laugh along. And if you think I'm really weird, use hashtag Fed ideas, hashtag do it with vigor, and be sure to share my weirdness with the world. Ooh, come on. All right. This, I think, is the biggest thing that's affecting people right now of all ages, information overload. Anyone know the movie? All right, awesome. So we're in a technology-first world, I think we all know that. The interesting thing about this is the more technologically connected we get, the more disconnected we seem to get from humans. And it's an interesting thing that I don't think many people could have really predicted. I mean, just think about your last Facebook argument. You probably said some things that you wouldn't have said to that person's face. And traditionally, with television advertising, old school print advertising, it was your word was your bond. You said, this is what we're doing. We have the best darn burger you can ever get for really cheap and really fast. And that was good enough. It ain't like that anymore. Through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of advertising messages, hundreds and hundreds of broken promises, people have become extremely skeptical. And so although today we can hit people with instantaneous marketing and instantaneous promises, they are instantly skeptical of what we're saying. And the only hope that we have to deliver that promise anymore is really the brand experience, and the only fully immersive brand experience we can give is inside that four walls. But that's shifting because of these guys. The army of darkness is what we call them. This is third-party delivery, and a lot of guys named Brad. Sorry, Brad. So technology and culture have changed how we acquire and procure our food. There's a lot of influences. Again, David hit on some of them. It was great. But I think the biggest downfall of third-party is, for the consumer, we have massive convenience. For the brand, we've just lost our entire opportunity. We have nothing. These interactions are brandless, they're careless, and they're unengaging, which is why we call them dark. We have no control. These delivery people, they don't know us, they don't know who we are, they don't know our promise. Their job is to get this sack of meat over here to that person as fast as possible, arguably fast as possible. So there's nowhere to interact and immerse. We've taken the four walls completely out of the equation, and what's crazy is this isn't going away. This is just getting more. Luckily, some brands are getting on board with doing the delivery themselves, but we're basically looking at an increase exponentially over time in the future here. In fact, the next 5 years, I have stats too. The next 5 years, 25% of restaurant sales will occur through digital ordering. And that's about 200 billion of 800 billion spent annually. And what that means is we have people who are more digitally connected, who are asking probably for that food to either get to me or I just want to get in, grab my food, and get out. Again, the immersive experience is gone. But not only is the point of brand interaction shifting, so is the human connection. I think they're getting kind of obsolete. So the millennial and younger generations, they've been raised on technology, and the rest of us, I appreciate David saying that millennial is 40, because I'm still in it. But the rest of us have really gotten up to speed. Smartphones, connectivity. We're all using technology to streamline our daily activities. Here's the good news. We're pretty smart. We know how to make our own order. We can do it all by ourselves without any help. And so it kind of begs the question, what are we really getting here? Is it a meaningful brand interaction if I'm at the restaurant? When's the last time you've been to a fast food restaurant? It's not very inspiring. And also, when we actually do get to the restaurant, how happy are you with the actual service overall? Do we really need someone to interrupt our conversation to ask how things are? Probably not. I think we're all good. So I think the overall idea of labor and who we hire is starting to really be threatened by technology and just the change in culture. But if we strip away the space and the human touch, and we have just a mass of people who are so skeptical, what hope do we have for revolutionizing the brand experience? Here's where we have some fun with technology. Bots. So, I mean two things when I say bots. I mean automation and AI. And I'm going to start with automation because I think it's a fun one. We already have robots to build hamburgers. And if you think about the general food when it comes to fast food, robots could probably do that job better, more consistent, and faster. There's a restaurant in San Francisco called Creator that is almost fully automated hamburger making. It's amazing. And here's what's even more amazing. It's consistent, it's delicious, and the hamburgers are $5.50 in California. So that's crazy. And then as early as yesterday, another brand called Spice out of Boston just secured $21 million in angel investment to be the first fully automated restaurant. That's crazy. It's a lot of money. And it's all stemming from this capability of robotics in conjunction with AI. So does anyone know what a chatbot is? 1, 2, I can't really see anyone else. All right, a few people. So if you have used a website and chatted with someone on that website, chances are that someone was a robot. It was preconceived, pre-written responses to common questions asked. And here's the thing is you probably didn't know it. And you probably don't care because you were helped. And that's actually what the studies have shown. 40% of consumers don't care if it's a robot, so long as they're getting help. That's a big number. And I would venture to say that that number could be higher and should be higher. But bots give us an amazing opportunity to guarantee consistency, truly help people, and get folks through the ordering process faster, which once again means that we really don't need people to do that. What we do need is integrated and interactive experiences. We need to make sure that what we have at our disposal right now, which is digital screens, are used more than just the slap the TV on the wall idea. Digital has come so far when it comes to screens that we have the opportunity to do amazing things. In fact, there's an installation at Cleveland's Art Museum, and I don't know if you can kind of see it there in the background, but it's called the Art Lens Wall. And you can actually see every piece of artwork in their permanent collection just by touching it. And when you open it up and open it big, you get all the information. That's amazing interactivity. Now take that thinking and put it in the sense of a restaurant. I'm waiting for my food. What am I going to do? Probably going to be on my phone unless I have this amazing wall that I can somehow interact with, get the brand story, learn more about the origins, understand the food and where it came from. Now I have someone engage with my brand in their free time and not necessarily on their cell phone. So we need to find ways to integrate the digital screens in a way that are natural and that accentuates the design. You know, it can't be this eyesore, and I think that's most of our fears. Would I be correct? Yes? Nod? Some nods? Okay, cool. But this notion is still quite analog if you think about it. Yes, we touch something, something comes up, something's done, but this act of touch, does that have to really be there? Contact lenses that are smart. This is kind of crazy. I told you, it's gonna get weirder. So we tried Google Glass, right? It came, had a lot of hype, and sort of fizzled out. I think that's because there were a lot of supporting elements that weren't quite there. But as Wi-Fi gets faster and our connectivity gets faster and our capabilities get better and stronger, contact lenses and other wearable technologies that are smart and allow us to interact aren't far off. In fact, Google, Samsung, Sony all have patents on smart contact lenses. What do? They could monitor health, which is a great thing, but no one really cares about that. What we really want to do is take video. So right now they have a contact lens that can take video and store it, meaning that instead of doing this and taking pictures of all you, I could just be doing this with a blink of an eye. Kind of creepy, a little big brothery, but a very big reality. Sony, actually I just read yesterday, I think it's Sony, has a contact lens that allows you to zoom in 3 times. So I could see you back there, like you're right here. That's crazy. The world becomes more interactive when we have this. It's less tangible and more experiential from a truer sense. And that actually opens up a world of ideas, especially, it should be at least for everyone in this room. What could actually happen? How many of you are thinking car crashes right now? Right, that's okay though, because, oh shoot, I gotta do this, hold on. Alternate realities, that's the big opportunity. So if I have contact lenses and I don't need to touch something, then I can actually create a different reality if I choose. And we've seen this, I think, the quickest adoption that we've ever seen is Pokemon Go. How many kids played that? Okay, how many of you played that? Yeah, guilty. But it's amazing, all of a sudden within a month, everybody was playing Pokemon Go and just walking around everywhere like this. You know, like little zombies is what we call them. It's crazy. But what that showed us is people are willing to adopt augmented reality is what it's called, if it's cool and if it's fun. So imagine if I have a contact lens, I don't need to touch anything, and I walk inside of a space and I look at that wall, and all of a sudden I get a world of hamburger right in front of me. I get to see everything about this brand, I get to engage with it, I get to see crazy things, whatever that brand wants me to see, and now the 4 walls have as many walls as we want, especially with virtual reality, which is a complete takeover of reality, which we design everything. This is an amazing way for us to deliver on a promise. So let's take a brand like Taco Bell, who's known for being a little bit crazy and having a lot of fun. I mean, imagine what they could do if they could control what you're seeing, at least in one eye. It's amazing, and I think that is an opportunity to take our promises from a brand and elevate it to all new levels. We can tell our stories, we can get people integrated in whatever we really want them to, and most importantly, get them talking to their friends about it. And of course, recording every second of it, sharing it with the world. But back to the car crashes, self-driving cars. I promise you it gets weirder. So the self-driving cars are not far off either. We have Google's Waymo, who's well under development and testing. I think they've only logged 1 accident, which, as silly as it sounds, is actually pretty amazing. And we also even have Kroger and Nuro, who tested grocery delivery with an autonomous vehicle. I mean, imagine that. I can order with my eyes, I get my hamburger in my head, I'm really excited for it, and here comes this small little vehicle, opens up, there's my hamburger. It's not that far off, which is really crazy. They're already testing things like this. And what's even better is it's safer. The more we have out there, the better it is. And it's not gonna be hard for adoption because we already do it, except someone's driving the Uber. You know, this time somebody wouldn't be driving the Uber, which means we have more time to interact, more time to hang out with the brands that we love, and more time to be immersed in the messages and the promises we want them to have. And then if we're ordering it to the house, it's faster, it's safer, and probably warmer, because we can actually heat it up while it's over there. And then drones. Who here has a drone? 1 person, 2, 3? Cool, awesome. They're a lot of fun. I will crash them every time. Don't ask me to, every single time. But we all know that Amazon is flirted and at least tested delivery with drones. That means it's not very far off to imagine I can get a burrito dropped in my hand anytime I want. That's the world I want to live in. But this still relies on taking food from point A to point B. I'm about to hit the weirdest slide in this entire deck. Can anyone guess what that means? 3D printed food. I know it sounds weird, but even in 2014, a brand called Foodini was printing hamburgers, pizza, and more. That's insane. It reminds me of Back to the Future 2, where she opened up the little Pizza Hut, put it in the oven, and all of a sudden it was there. But this is an amazing thing. So you basically, it's kind of gross when you think about it, have little tubes, and they actually print out your food, and it can be just about anything. And 3D printing technology is getting more and more and more prevalent. It's getting cheaper. It's getting easier, more accessible. Imagine being able to print out your McDonald's hamburger and French fries and Happy Meal toy, all with a push of a button, and of course a download that costs some money every time you do it. Weirdest slide, sorry. But we had to, it's out there, it's coming. So if we combine all of these innovations, it's a big shift from where we are today. And some of them may seem crazy, and if we culminate it, it actually can be a little bit bleak because we're like, wow, we really wouldn't be designing 4 walls anymore. Who's gonna produce the food? So we came up with some bold predictions. Restaurants become attractions, not a place of procurement. So rather than a place that just distributes food, because we can have little pods, I think David mentioned it with the place that doesn't even have a 4 walls traditional restaurant that just outputs food. We have little commissaries that facilitate the needs and the orders, but then we get to design things like this. This is World of Coke. I'm from Atlanta. I haven't said y'all once, by the way. Can we make a note? I guess I just did now. But so we have attractions that allow people to come in and have the experience that they want. They can get in and be completely immersed in McDonald's or Chipotle or one of the bigger brands. They can learn about this story and spend however much time they want to, like an amusement park. And then we have, of course, the commissaries that take care of the actual orders, but then in this, we could do tastings of like, tasting menus we're trying to try out, get real world feedback, have people taste the classic McDonald's hamburger or something like that. It's an amazing opportunity because we can basically create new worlds, integrate the augmented realities, and have these amazing things that people actually want to talk about. The workforce shifts. Is anyone in this movie? All right. It's called Real Genius. It's great. Val Kilmer. It's awesome. So our workforce shifts from the menial plugging buttons, you know, what was it, chicken, 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 what's your picking? From that to technology-driven innovators, people who can maintain equipment, build new equipment, create new software, can handle all the technological needs and innovation for a brand. Restaurants will need teams who can innovate and grow the brand because it's not just about facilitating that need, it's about going above and beyond. Even in this world that I've just created, it's about going above and beyond, you know, breaking those molds. So our workforce becomes thinkers, doers, digital craftspeople that understand user experience. They're paid more than minimum wage, but they're arguably very much worth more than minimum wage. Maybe this sounds bleak, a little scary. People are always gonna want this. People are always gonna want a human touch and a connection. So no matter how we leverage technology and innovation, there will always be that need for someone to connect with someone else. And I think that's gonna get even more prevalent as we continue to skew so far away from that actual human connection, no matter how connected we are. I think we're gonna start finding those new ways to come back together again. And I think restaurants are primed to continue to offer that. So long as the transaction becomes seamless and simple, allowing us to connect with each other, we're not gonna lose really fully that restaurant experience. I can almost imagine like a restaurant reclaiming the old ways of doing things, which is the way we do them now, the experience of yesteryear. Principles and needs remain true no matter what. Innovation should just give us, and technology just give us a way to make them better. This isn't about removing the beauty of what we do or the beauty of what a human transaction can look like. It's about accentuating it, making it better, and letting the brand dictate what that looks like. And I think together, we all must push the industry forward, and that's why we're all here, into new ideas, new thinking that allow us to create those experiences. People want to trust the brands. They want moments of truth. They want a promise, and then they want it to be exceeded. Bless you. The tenets of building trust will always remain the same no matter what. Back up your word, exceed expectations, and be human first. Technology simply offers us a way to make good on those promises. I encourage you all to do it and follow our little motto, do it with vigor. If you think about it, it's actually quite smart. Thank you.